The next step in the process is to identify questions for the different buyer personas that can help you to uncover if they have any of those pain points that you just identified. We actually refer to these probing questions as pre-qualifying questions because when I'm talking to a prospect, I want to determine if I should keep talking to them, if I should continue to invest my valuable time with them, either over the phone or if it makes sense for me to schedule a meeting with them. I don't want to have a meeting just to have a meeting. I want to have a meeting with someone who there's a slight chance that they could possibly fit and we can further qualify later. I will use pre-qualifying questions that probe for the different challenges that I help to fix and see if there's a hint of any of those existing. If the prospect doesn't have any of the challenges that I help with, then I'm going to be wasting my time if I go meet with them. Now the key thing here is that the pre-qualifying questions could be slightly different when you go from one buyer persona to another or one product to another. So that's why these different campaigns really help you to operate at the highest possible level. Now, your deeper qualifying questions that you can do later in the process that identify if the prospect has budget or if they're the decision maker or what timing they're working against, those could be the same from one campaign to another. But it's those pre-qualifying questions that can be different. And so if we go back to this workflow, we're looking again at that operations manager. One way to identify what should we ask this operations manager to see if we should meet with them, we can look at the pain points resolved, and for each pain point, that can help us to compose one or two or a few questions to probe to see if they have that concern. So if we help to fix the problem of spending too much time processing orders, a good question to ask is, how concerned are you about the amount of time it takes to produce orders? Or are you manually processing orders? Or how much time during the day does it take to process orders? This workflow takes us to an optimum list of pre-qualifying questions. Now notice these questions are targeted to that operations manager because that's a pain point for that particular buyer persona. Now if we were going through this workflow for a CFO, we would have identified different benefits, different problems, and we would arrive at a different list of questions. Again, in SalesScripter, it'll take you through a process that will help you to identify the optimum questions, and then those questions are inserted into the library of documents. So this is an excerpt from the middle of a call script, which is where we might drive a cold call toward asking a few pre-qualifying questions. You can also use your pre-qualifying questions in emails. Your pre-qualifying questions also can become some of your best objection rebuttals. If you get the objection of "I'm not interested" or "just send me some information," first of all, if you get "I'm not interested," instead of trying to make them interested, redirect to one of your pre-qualifying questions. "Oh yeah, I understand, and I'm not trying to sign you up for anything today. So, but if I could ask you real quick, how concerned are you about the blah blah blah?" So if they say "just send me some information," say, "Hey, yeah, sure, I'll definitely send you over some info so that I know exactly what to send you. Do you mind if I ask you, how concerned are you about the amount of time it takes to blah blah blah?" Your pre-qualifying questions are extremely powerful, and again, what makes them even more powerful is if you have those really tailored for the different buyer personas that you interact with.